Everyone, let us know how to decide the sample size for research work. Before that, let us see what are the factors affecting size of the sample. First important factor is nature of population. If the population nature is homogeneous, researcher can select few number of sample. But in case of heterogeneous, he has to collect more number of sample to get correct result. Next one is availability of resource. This is the thing deciding sample size of the research work because he has to spend money and time for collecting data. If the project is done by PG students, they could spend few months only for research work. Like that, MPhil students they also spend some months for data collection. If research scholar they could spend some years for data collection. But the data collection period not more than 1 year. Next one is types of sampling method. Sampling method classified into probability sampling method and non-probability sampling method. If the researcher know the population size, he could adopt any one of the probability sampling method. Otherwise, he has to follow non-probability sampling techniques. Another important thing is degree of accuracy. If the researcher wants to get more accuracy in her research work, she should follow and take more number of samples. It helps to reduce the error. Let us see how to calculate sample size. First one is based on population, we can decide the sample size. If the population size is more, we have to increase the sample size. Otherwise, we can reduce the sample size. Next one is margin of error. Researcher needs to decide how much error would be allowed in her research work. All the research work definitely consists some percentage of error. If the researcher wants to reduce the error, he should increase the sample size. Here, if the researcher took 200 samples, the margin of error will be 6.93%. If he choose 400, the margin of error will be reduced somewhat. If the sample size is 800, the margin of error is 3.46%. Next one is confidence level. In confidence level, researcher how confident or certain about her or his research work. Usual confidence levels are 90%, 95% and 99%. Usually, social science research worker take 95% level of confidence for research work. Next one is standard deviation. Standard deviation means how far the value is deviating from the mean value. If the standard deviation is low, it indicates most of the value closer to the mean value. The best thing is the researcher should concentrate to reduce the standard deviation value. By seeing this chart, we could easily understand how much sample should be selected for research work. If the population size is 100 at a 5% margin of error, we can adopt 80 samples. If the population size is 10,000, researcher can adopt 370 samples. At certain level, there is no much difference in the sample size. In 1 lakh, the sample size is only 383. In case of 5 lakh population, there is no much difference in the sample size. It is just 384. So, Nearly 400 sample size is enough for any kind of research work. Based on general perception, if the population is less than 100, the researcher has to follow survey method instead of sampling. Survey method means he has to collect information from all the population. If the sample size is 500, the researcher may choose 50% of person for study. If the sample size is less than 1500, 20% of the population can be used for study. If the population level beyond 5400 is enough for study. I hope you understand how to estimate the sample size.